Okay. So again, good evening. So what we will do today, right? We'll talk about campus to corporate transition with a target, with the focus on internships. See, campus to corporate transition on it is a very vast topic. I have spoken about this topic to many people, many colleges, students, well, a lot in the past. Based here, actually, there are quite a lot of things. There's a huge list. If you see here, I already made on my notebook quite a lot of topics. And நிறைய இருக்கு. So what we would do is we would do this in a series, not only in this session or the next many sessions we'll talk about. In fact, honestly speaking, what I have been discussing with you in the last many week sessions, right, or last many months, it's all part of campus to corporate transition only. So there's nothing different from that. So today I just wanted to discuss with you about it's more like an interactive session also we can do about internships because we started this particular series because you are all preparing for your interviews and be it for campus recruitment or for internships or something, right? So how much? Okay, how much do you know about internships? What is your idea of an internship? What is your idea of an internship?
Sir, we get to go directly to the industry and get used to the situations times to get the
Okay.
exposure of what is happening there.
Hmm. Okay.
And we know that it is totally different from what we see in our college and what is there in the industry. So it will be like we get used to those places before we actually get to work.
That is a good one. Okay. That's actually the right one. Okay, what else? Wherein do you think actually internship is exactly the same as a job? Imagine you're joining as an intern in one company, 3 months, for example. There are other people also working around you who are in their first year, second year, third year, whatever they're joining their working experience. என்ன வித்தியாசம்? What is the difference between what you are doing, the nature of work you are doing, and the nature of work that they are doing?
It's more like a training.
ட்ரெய்னிங்னா கிளாஸ் ரூம்ல உட்கார வச்சு சொல்லி கொடுப்பாங்க. There may be a few trainings, but internships they don't give too much of training. Generally not.
So we'll be going through the same work what they do, but without the work pressure.
Really? Then what is the use of having an internship? Just now you said internship is a chance for you to experience a job even before you actually get into the job. But if you're not getting the pressure, then what's the use of the internship?
Sir, the internships I have attended, it is like for 1 week or 10 days. So there I haven't felt that much.
Here is one important thing you have to learn. It's both about life and also about career. Sometimes you do things because you have to, you are forced to do things. Sometimes you will not get any pressure. Those are the times you can actually experiment and learn a lot. When you are already under pressure, it's very difficult to experiment. And you cannot do many things. And even when you do those things, you will not be able to learn or remember what you did. But imagine you are doing certain things without pressure. Then you can learn a lot. So, actual pressure இருக்குமா இல்லையான்றது another story for internships. But even if you feel your actual internship situation, your internship condition is not exactly like the job situation. Just a minute. Yeah, I'm sorry. Just give me a minute. Okay, good. So you may or may not get the same pressure like you get in a job, but you should go with the idea, go with the mindset. It's all about the mindset. You go with the mindset. This is like a full job. This is a job. And I'm going to learn, I'm going to simulate, I'm going to behave as if it is a real job, and then only you can learn. So that's the idea. You know, see, it depends on the companies. For example, கொஞ்சம் கம்பெனிஸ்ல இன்டர்ன்ஸ்னா ஸ்பெஷலா ட்ரீட் பண்ணுவாங்க. உங்களுக்குன்னு தனியா ஒரு இடம் கொடுத்து, they will not put too much pressure on you. They will give you all the good things and everything. கொஞ்சம் கம்பெனிஸ்ல they will seat you among everyone else, the people who are working, proper regular employees, and they may give you pieces of work that regular employees do and everything. But again, as you said, yeah, pressure இருக்காது இந்த மாதிரி. ஏன்னா and 3 months internship you're not going to get too much chance to get too many trainings. Once again, you will not get a chance to have with. So the idea is, நீங்களா, if you, unless you basically plan and identify opportunities and everything, it will be very difficult. Either they give you the same job as a regular employee or they give you something special as an intern. You have to find opportunities to learn and grow yourself. That's the main point about internship. You're right. The pressure may not be as much as that of an intern, as of a regular employee, but it's a great opportunity for you to learn without pressure. If you say internship for and jolly, they pay me some salary, they may give me some money, they may not give me some money, and jolly போயிட்டு I'll just I get all the good things like an employee. I don't get all the negative things like pressure or something. Okay, actually it is your it's your choice. So this is basically about so what else do you think is different between an internship and a job? Anything else, or what is similar between an internship and a job? One thing is, as an intern, you're still a student. Some of you, I think mostly internship for college, I don't think there is no need to go to college. You'll be full time as an intern. There are many things you can learn. What are some things you can learn when you are an intern?
The things which are apart from our syllabus, like they may have a separate software for their work,
Hmm.
or like that. Those things we can learn during the intern.
Hmm. Software, especially, okay, that's technical things. What else you can learn?
Like workplace is necessary things
Sure.
to do on workplace
Hmm.
and how to interact with people
Hmm.
around there.
Exactly. Exactly. See, when you are a student, let me try to. Okay, I will share my screen. I will show you something. Are you able to see the screen? Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Screen three, the yes,
Yes,
no.
sir. Yes, sir. It's visible.
Ah. See, there is a big difference between campus and corporate. I will share with you these things, but it's just a generic idea. For example, காலேஜில் ஸ்டூடெண்ட்ஸாக இருக்கிறதுக்கும் கார்ப்பரேட்டில் இருக்கிறதுக்கும் எம்ப்ளாயியாக இருக்கிறதுக்கும் many of these things will be a culture shock when you're stepping from campus to corporate. It will be a shock. Nobody would have told you certain things. Certain things you will think, you will assume they may be right or wrong. Some things you may have over taught. For example, ஓவரா வந்து ரொம்ப பில்டப் கொடுத்துருப்பாங்க, and then you say, come on, it's not so bad. So இந்த மாதிரி நிறைய இருக்கும். So the idea is you can always be prepared. You cannot do everything, you cannot have all the preparation when you are a student itself, but it's good for you to know at least what's the difference between campus and corporate and be prepared. Some examples, for example, what exactly are your goals? இங்க வந்து வெறும் பாஸ் ஆனா போதும். For example, be it in your exams or viva or internal exams, everything, answer கரெக்டா கொடுத்தா you will pass, right? basically. Yeah. So when you give an answer, then you clear the exam. Sometimes, very rarely, they also look at how you approached the answer, the steps, and everything. But most of the time, the target is getting answers. But in a job, getting an answer is not always the primary thing. You're all engineers, right? What is the difference
Yes,
between you, an engineer, and someone else? An engineer not only finds answers, an engineer also finds the most efficient way to get an answer or a solution. There may be 10 or 20 ways to get to approach, but an engineer finds the optimum, the most efficient way. Scientist வந்து வேற நிறைய அதில் but engineers, that engineer means itself to create something. We create things, we create efficient solutions. So in a job, very less importance or value is attached to getting the right answer. More value is attached in how you arrive at the answer and what did you learn from it. Inniki you find one way of getting an answer. What have you learned from it? Tomorrow, can you find a second and a more efficient way, a better way of finding the answer? So, this is something that's very important. And how are you improving? What are you learning constantly? Constantly, you're learning and constantly, you're improving. So, this is very important. And many things that you always thought you could get away when you are at work, it will be very difficult for you. You cannot get away in corporate. For example, பரவாயில்ல ஒரு நாள் கிளாஸுக்கு லேட்டாக போனால் பரவாயில்ல செகண்ட் டே ஐ கேன் கோ பங்க்சுவாலிட்டி ரைட் மேக்ஸிமம் அட்டெண்டன்ஸ் கட் பண்ணுவாங்க ரைட் இங்கே வந்து இட்ஸ் நாட் ஜஸ்ட் த அட்டெண்டன்ஸ் ஆர் சம்திங் there are things more. I'm not even talking about appraisal. There are more things. The image that you create, you have to construct an image about yourself. And that will either, and based on the image that you create about yourself, you will get lots of support, networking, and everything. Everything will be affected. And there is this beautiful thing called accountability. You know what accountability means, right? One second. Okay, it was a bit loud in the back end. So, you know what accountability means?
yes, it's like being responsible for what we do.
It's something similar to responsibility. It's slightly different, but you can relate it to responsibility because the accountability means when you're given something and the பொறுப்பா இருக்கிறதுன்னு சொல்லுவாங்கல்ல, that is the one, but it's slightly beyond that. That is responsibility, slightly beyond that. Imagine, for example, I'm your manager and I give you some work. You're responsible for finishing that. You do it and everything, but suddenly something happens. You're not getting the inputs. You're not getting support from people. You're not getting the whatever support you need to finish your work, or you have to take an emergency holiday and everything. Imagine if I come and ask you why you have not finished the work. You start giving excuses. எனக்கு அதுக்கு 10 days I needed, you gave me only 5 days. எப்போ you are telling me on the fifth day you are telling me. Not on the first day or second day, on the fifth day you are telling me. And you point fingers. For example, he did not give me the data, she did not support me. இல்லை எனக்கு தலைவலி உடம்பு சரியில்லை லீவு add to some emergency, for example. Not saying this and delivering, if it is your company, imagine you are owning a company, you are a startup entrepreneur, you're having your own company. Will you like if somebody gives you these explanations, your own hard-earned money you are putting, your own company? Would you like doing those things? No, right? So that is called being accountable. It's also called entrepreneurship. Being entrepreneurial. So being entrepreneurial means you live in a no excuse culture. You don't give reasons why something cannot be done. You do it because as if it is, you handle time, money, everything as if it is your own money, your own company. So this is being entrepreneurial, and accountability is no excuse. When something is given, you're not saying I'm after all a team member, my manager or leader is someone else. You behave leader like. Because tomorrow when you become a leader, you become a manager, how will you want your team members actually to behave with you? So you become a leader and you deal. So that is basically accountability, for example. And certain other things, for example, dress code. I know in college you wear casuals, you wear a lot. It's not that office pona ಇಲ್ಲ internships la coat suit போடணும்ட்டு. But there is a decent dress code that is expected. For example, coat suit தேவையில்லை, tie எல்லாம் தேவையில்லை, but at least formals. For example, we discussed in our previous sessions, right? In interview க்கு எப்படி dress பண்ணணும்ட்டு. Something similar. To an interview, you dress in the same way as you will dress for a company. Tie எல்லாம் கூட கட்ட தேவையில்லை. Men, you just have to go with proper formals. Or even if you don't tuck your shirt in, it should be a decent shirt. And the shiny இது போட்டு ஜுப்பா போட்டு போறது கேஷுவல் இதெல்லாம் போட்டு see, it depends on the company. Some companies have a casual culture. You can wear jeans on all the days, you can wear casuals on all the days, t-shirt போட்டுக்கலாம். Some companies they say Monday to Thursday you should wear formals or semi casuals. Friday அன்னைக்கு full casuals போடலாம். So you have to be aware of what the culture of the company is. Understood, right? So this is full casuals allow பண்ற கம்பெனில வெறும் ஃபார்மல்ஸ் போட தேவையில்லை. But some companies when they have an expectation of a formal culture without realizing you're wearing casuals or something, that's also you should be aware of it. So collegesல வந்து some collegesல uniforms இருக்கும். உங்களுக்கு uniform இருக்கா காலேஜ்ல? You don't have
No, sir.
uniform. Some
No, sir.
colleges have uniform. Some colleges have uniform. So companies there'll be no uniform, especially when you're in IT field and everything. So you have to so it's good to invest. Spend some money, invest in very good shirts, t-shirts, or t-shirts also, pants, casuals. Ladies, for example, proper. You don't have to wear shirt and pant every day, ladies. But even if you're wearing chudidar or something decent, wear them. You're wearing t-shirts, wear neat t-shirts. Also, ladies, also if you want to wear. So invest in that and do it. Adhe Madhuri, there are some other things, for example, I'm not going to run through every single thing in this list, but only some important things. For example, you have decision making. Decision making is a very important trait. There is no price for good and bad decisions, but there's a high value placed on timely decisions. Nobody is one second. So nobody is going to give you high marks because you took the right decision if it is going to be very late. It is better to make timely decisions, quick decisions, and then work forward. And the VUCA. Have you heard VUCA? Agile, VUCA in a volatile, uncertain, complex, and ambiguous அப்படின்னுவாங்க. The job market now or the situation means இன்னைக்கு ஒன்று நடந்துட்டு இருக்கும். There's no guarantee tomorrow it will happen the same way or the same thing will happen. Volatile. Anytime it can explode. Anytime things can change. What is true today will not be true tomorrow. And you're not sure how things are connected. எதை தொட்டா எது வந்து வெடிக்கும். You don't know. There are so many things keeping on changing. When so many things are changing, right, in this VUCA, VUCA, VUCA world, there's no guarantee that the decision you take is the right one. So you keep on waiting, Indigo. I don't have all the information. எனக்கு எல்லா information வரட்டும். Then I will make a decision. You will never get the information. And it keeps changing that information also. So எவ்வளோ டைம் கொடுக்கணுமோ for anything, how much thought you have to give only that much thought, and then work further, go forward. If it's wrong decision, fine, you correct it along the way, you will learn. And sometimes only when you make a decision and take an action, right, you'll get more information. College வந்து you will not have experienced this. At work you have to, at all levels. So decision making is something very important. And your attitude towards mistakes, it's also very important. Here is a question. When you make a mistake in college, your professor scolds you, what will you do?
So first of all, I will accept the mistake, and I will explain my point of view on what I did.
And if there are like results that I make this mistake, so I'll be explaining.
Hmm.
Sir, if it is my mistake, I will apologize. Else, I will try to explain that it isn't in college. Yes.
Okay. What, for example, what's the worst thing that will happen if you're doing a mistake in college? What's the worst thing? So, maybe you lose some marks. இங்க கொஞ்சம் mark போனா, you can get that mark somewhere else. Worst case, you get an arrear. But you can always have a chance to correct. Corporate world also, you will get chances to correct, but your attitude towards mistakes should be even more mature and more professional. Here is where you talk about again accountability. So first thing is it's not that every time you have to accept ஆமாமா நான் தான் பண்ண உடனே you don't have to accept. You don't have to someone else's mistake you don't have to accept as yours. அதெல்லாம் that's not the thing. The thing is you should be able to separate data from emotions. You understood? So when someone is criticizing you, once when someone says you're wrong, don't jump to conclusions. Rather, you should be willing to and you should be able to take data from it. Objectively evaluate what exactly is the situation. You remember the star approach we talked about earlier? Anyone remembers? Star approach. I will refresh your memory. Situation, task, action, review. So whenever a situation is presented, how do you evaluate situation? What was the situation? என்ன நடந்துச்சு? Now T is for task. Task means what should be done towards making the situation better. Actions. And the what should be done, how you should do, what are the different actions you should take. And finally, R is for result. Okay, so you should be able to evaluate any situation when someone says you have done a mistake or when you realize you have done a mistake. Objectively evaluate what was the situation, what is the impact of that mistake, who are all the people affected, and then evaluate what we should do to make good this mistake and then move on. If someone tells anything about you personally, it's okay. Office politics is something different. I will not talk about it now. There are times when you should defend yourself strongly. Even if you've done a mistake, there are times you can say you don't have to blindly accept your mistake. Rather, you should do a few more things. But that is a different topic. The difference from corporate between campus and corporate is there'll be more things personally attributed to you at work. You should be able to separate the emotions from the data and evaluate what is the situation. என்ன பண்ணணும் next? That you should think of first rather than thinking why you did the mistake. It's important. Why? ஏன் நடந்துச்சு? It's also important. But அதுக்கு மேல, beyond that, the urgency more than why, you should talk what next. So this kind of only those people succeed who think what next? What can I do next? What can I go ahead? So this is the attitude difference, for example. And one really very important thing we talk about always is networking. Networking, they say na your network is your net worth. Networking is getting so many connections with people. It's not just having a big phone book வச்சுக்கிறது மட்டும் இல்லை. You should be able to connect people at different levels. There'll be some people with whom you can share your vulnerabilities, your mistakes, everything. You without boundaries you can talk. Then there are some other people who you take guidance from. There are some other people who you will share things at an equal level. You give and take. There'll be some people where you only give. You cannot take anything back from them. There are different levels in networking. So காலேஜ்ல மிஞ்சி மிஞ்சி போனா you will take support உங்களுக்கு தெரியாத சப்ஜெக்ட்ல you will ask someone their support, you will learn, and what they know they will teach you, what you know you will teach them. Maybe லேப்ல எல்லாம் சேர்ந்து ஒர்க் பண்ணுவீங்க, அவ்வளவுதான். That's the maximum. What else? But in corporate goes beyond. You should know the difference between professional and personal boundaries. Of course, you will create quite a lot of relationships which are beyond professional, personal, இதெல்லாம் இருக்கும். But you should know why you are networking, what is the purpose. I'm not saying you should always have an agenda in your head. ஏதாவது ஒரு ரீசனை வச்சு தான் இவங்களால எனக்கு இது ஆகணும் அதனால வந்து ஐ நோ நோ நாட் தட். That's not the point. You should network with no agenda, but you should also be willing to leverage the network. Leverage என்னன்னு தெரியுமா? To make use of. So there's no use of a network if it just remains as a network. That is corporate sharing, learning to the you give something, you take something. So you connect with some people with no intention. சும்மாவே connect பண்றீங்க. Good. But in the future, when a situation comes, you can make use of the person's connections, of the person's skills, experience. You should feel free to do that. That is the power of networking. There will be time when they will expect you to give something. There'll be times when you expect them to give something. It's all give and take. So corporate, the biggest difference from corporate is from campus, from colleges, networking has a whole different meaning, and networking is very important. The give and take may not happen at the same time. It may happen at different times. But you should always be willing to look and connect with people who can align with you, with your purpose. Ingada, we come to the biggest thing, which is purpose. We already talked, I think, in one of the previous sessions, we talked about purpose. Purpose is basically, there's another word for the, we call it as true north. Abdina, purpose Abdina, why you exist, the rationale for your existence. Now, here is a question to you. Why do you want to have a job? No answer is wrong answer. No answer is bad answer. Please tell me. Each of you has a different either. I will stop the screen sharing.
To earn money and live life the way we want.
Beautiful answer. Fair enough. What other reasons?
For the same, sir, for financial stability and to moving forward
Hmm. What else?
in life. And to be uh, uh, it gives me joy that there is a place for me.
Hmm. It gives you a sense of attachment. You belong to somewhere, right? What else? What
Makes
else?
us feel that we have a purpose.
Sorry?
It makes us feel that we have a purpose.
Ah, what is the purpose of joining a job? It makes you feel the purpose. இது வைவா ஆன்சர் மாதிரி இருக்கு. Huh? No, there is a
Yes, sir.
deeper
So if
there's
we
a
are
deeper
not working,
meaning
it will
behind.
be like
Uh, if I go
if you are not
philosophically,
in
your
any
answer is a
job,
good one.
we'll feel useless, sir, if you are not there in any job. So
Fair enough. That's also a good thing. I don't want to be on the street வெட்டியா உட்கார்ந்திருக்க இஷ்டம் இல்லை. So I'm being in a job. It's okay. Okay. What else? That's right. There's no wrong answer. In fact, funny thing is every single answer you give is right. My purpose is not to, my intention is here is not to show you what is the right answer because I want to understand what you think. What else?
To explore more things like I can get to gain experience on things like that I work on. Obviously, I will be getting contacts and more people.
Beautiful. Beautiful. What else? I think Vigneshwari, you are quiet.
It's about financial freedom and independence.
See, financial freedom and independence. See, finance is the most common reason why people work. ஆனா சொன்னா என்ன இவ்ளோ மொக்கையா சொல்றாங்களே கேவலமா just for money we are working. But no, that's the most common reason. Remember, it's okay. It's okay. See, all these great things, purpose, அப்புறமா the learning, experience, everything. when you don't have money even for your food, to have a place to live in, to wear proper dress, to be respected basically. இது எதுக்குமே, if you don't have money, everything goes second. Google something, I will tell you. Google, I think I already showed you this, I'm not sure. Maslow's hierarchy, அப்படின்னு you Google it.
Yes.
MASLOW. Maslowன்னு டைப் பண்ணாலே வந்துரும் ஒரு பிரமிட். Maslow's hierarchy of needs அப்படின்ட்டு. They say it's part of motivation theory. What motivates people? Maslow's hierarchy வந்து என்ன இது பண்ணுது அப்படின்னா, at the bottom most of anything, you have your physical needs or physiological needs. Physical need and food, shelter. ஃபுட்டே இல்லாதவங்க கிட்ட போயிட்டு நான் உனக்கு சிஇஓ பொசிஷன் தரேன்னா தே வில் நாட் பி. சிஇஓ பொசிஷன் பிரிங்ஸ் யூ ஃபுட். பட் ஃபஸ்ட்டு உனக்கு ஃபுட்டு வேணுமா சிஇஓ பொசிஷன் வேணும்னா என்ன சொல்லுவாங்க? ஃபுட் தான் சொல்லுவாங்க. ஃபுட் அண்ட் ஷெல்டர். So someone who is struggling even for this physical, physiological need, you cannot motivate him by giving anything else. Next level, there is the job, for example. Job, position, and all those things. Then after that you said one thing, right? Belonging, self and belonging, respect, அதெல்லாம். ஸோ ஜாப் செக்யூரிட்டி இல்லாதவங்க கிட்ட போயிட்டு நான் வந்து உனக்கு வந்து ஒரு ஜாப் இல்லை இருந்தால் தான் ரெஸ்பெக்ட் இன் எ ஜாப் கம்ஸ். ஜாபே இல்லை, ஜாப் நாளைக்கு வந்து வேலையில் இருப்போமா இல்லையா, தே ஆர் ஃபயரிங் பீப்புள் இன் ஆல் டைரக்ஷன்ஸ், நாளைக்கு நமக்கு வேலை இருக்குமா இல்லையா, அந்த மாதிரி பயந்துட்டு இருக்கவங்க கிட்ட போயிட்டு ஹே கேன் யூ கிவ் அ சேலஞ்சிங் ஜாப் கேட்டிருந்தால பண்ணுன்னு சொன்ன பண்ணுவாங்களா? தே வில் நாட், தே வில் சஸ்பெக்ட் யூ. தென் கம்ஸ் பிலாங்கிங். தேர்ட் லெவலில் பிலாங்கிங். டீம் என்ன ரெஸ்பெக்ட் பண்ணுறாங்களா? ஃபார் எக்ஸாம்பிள், உங்கள் டீமில் எனக்கு நான் நல்லா பெர்ஃபார்ம் பண்ணுறானா என் டீம்மேட்ஸ்க்கு என்னை பிடிக்கவே இல்லை. ஒரு லஞ்சுக்கு போனால் என்னை கூப்பிட்டு போவோம், எல்லாரும் சேர்ந்து டீம் அவுட்டிங் போகிறாங்க, என்னை கூப்பிட்டு போகல. என் மேனேஜர் வந்து என்னை வந்து எப்போ பார்த்தாலும் கிண்டலாக ஏதாவது சொல்லிட்டு இருக்காரு. இன்னும் நான் இல்லாமல் என்னை மட்டும் விட்டுட்டு ஏதோ நடந்துருக்கு டீமில். இந்த மாதிரி சென்ஸ் ஆஃப் பிலாங்கிங் இல்லை அப்படின்னா தட்ஸ் ஆல்சோ a bad thing. That's the third level. Next level comes where you create a legacy. ஃபுட்டு கிட்ட எல்லாம் இருக்குது, சேலரி எல்லாம் ரெகுலராக வருது உங்களுக்கு. அதுக்கப்புறமா ஜாப், எவ்ரி திங் இஸ் ஷுவர், செக்யூரிட்டி இருக்குது, வேலை வந்து ஷுவர், எல்லாம் ஸ்ட்ராங்காக இருக்குது. ப்ளஸ் டீம் மெம்பர்ஸ் ஆல்சோ லைக் யூ. தே மே நாட் லவ் யூ ஸோ மச், பட் இட் இஸ் தே லைக் யூ, தே டோன்ட் டிஸ்லைக் யூ. ஓகேவா? அண்ட் தென் யூஆர் ஃபீலிங் இது. அதுக்கப்புறமா தென் திஸ் டெல் யூ, யூ கிவ் ஃபார் எக்ஸாம்பிள் யூ வாண்ட் டு டேக் அப் சேலஞ்சிங் திங். ஃபார் எக்ஸாம்பிள் இது யார் பண்ணாங்கன்னா இது தருண். இதை வந்து தருண் தான் பண்ணியிருப்பான். ஏன்னா I can see his signature on this, on the style I can see amazing. For example, Ilangovan does an amazing thing. Vigneshwari, actually, Vigneshwari என்ற பேர் கேட்டாலே I know she is an expert in this field. ஸோ இதெல்லாம் கால் லெகசி. இதெல்லாம் வந்து நெக்ஸ்ட் லெவல். ஸோ ஜாபே ஆடிட்டு இருக்கிறப்போ டீம் மெம்பர்ஸ் டோன்ட் ரெஸ்பெக்ட் யூ, யூ வில் நாட் திங்க் ஆஃப் தீஸ் திங்ஸ். வென் யூ எவ்ரி திங் எல்ஸ் இஸ் செக்யூர், யூ வில் திங்க் ஆஃப் கிரியேட்டிங் அ லெகசி. நான் தான் சாம்பியன் இந்த இதில். அண்ட் above all these things, at the fifth level there is something செல்ஃப் ஆக்சுவலைசேஷன் அப்படின்வாங்க. அப்படின்னா என்னென்னா வேலை அதெல்லாம் ஐ டோன்ட் கேர், ஐ வாண்ட் டு சொசைட்டிக்கு ஹெல்ப் பண்ணும். நான் வந்து யார் யார் யாரும் பார்க்கறதுனால ஐ எம் நாட் டூயிங் சம்திங். ஈவன் வென் நோபடி இஸ் அப்சர்விங் மீ, ஐ வில் டூ சர்டன் திங்ஸ். ஐ வில் மென்டார் சம் ஒன், ஐ வில் கோச். இப்போ நான் வந்து ஐ எம் டூயிங் ஆல் தீஸ் திங்ஸ். மை டீம் மெம்பர்ஸ் மே ஆர் மே நாட் நோ, மை மேனேஜர் மே ஆர் மே நாட் நோ. இது வெளியில் யாருக்குமே தெரியாமே போகும். பட் ஐ எம் ஹாப்பி தட் 1 2 3 4 of you are here in this call. I spent 1 hour speaking to 4 of you, something that's useful to you. I don't care. இதனால் வந்து my managers may not know it. இதனால் எனக்கு கம்பெனியில் எக்ஸ்ட்ரா சேலரி வராது, எக்ஸ்ட்ரா பெனிஃபிட் எதுவுமே இல்லை. பட் ஐ எம் நாட் கெட்டிங் எனி பெனிஃபிட் எக்ஸப்ட் மேபி ஹாப்பினஸ் தட் ஐ சப்போர்ட்டட் சம்மன்ஸ் க்ரோத். அவ்வளோதான். தட் இஸ் கால்ட் செல்ஃப் ஆக்சுவலைசேஷன். So the reason I brought this Maslow's hierarchy, you can Google and learn more about it, is money is really important. Money is very, very important. So anyone who says I don't care about money, they are lying. But beyond money, what else is important to you in your job? Respect. From whom? From your parents, from your family, from your friends, from your society. ஒரு கெத்து சொசைட்டில சார் உங்க பையன் என்ன பண்ணிருக்கான்? அவன் வேலை வெட்டி இல்லாம சும்மா சுத்திட்டு இருக்கான். அவன் ஃப்ரெண்ட்ஸ் எல்லாருமே வந்து இதுவரைக்கும் 3 வருஷம் எக்ஸ்பீரியன்ஸ் வச்சிருக்காங்க. எல்லாம் இது இது இப்போ ஃபாரின் கூட ஆன் சைட் போயிட்டு வந்துட்டாங்க 2 தடவ. இது இவன் என்னடான்னா கேட்டா வேலை வெட்டி இல்லாம சும்மா சுத்திட்டு இருக்குது. இந்த விஐபி படம்லாம் பார்த்தீங்கல்ல? அந்த மாதிரி தான். தனுஷ் அந்த இதுதான். ஸோ சும்மா வேலை வெட்டி இல்லாம வீட்ல உட்காந்துருக்கிறதுக்கு ஏதோ ஒரு ஜாப். மேனேஜர் என்னை எப்படி வேணாலும் சொல்லட்டும். என்ன வேலைய விட்டு தூக்காம இருந்தா போதும். ப்ரமோஷன் வேணாம், ஹைக் வேணாம். எனக்கு ஐ டோன்ட் ஈவன் கேர். டெய்லி காலைல மேனேஜர் வந்தோனே ஃபர்ஸ்ட்டு வேலையே என்ன திட்டுறது தான். மை டீம் மெம்பர்ஸ் டோன்ட் கேர். ஐ டோன்ட் கேர். எனக்கு வேலையில தூக்காம வச்சிருக்காங்க. ஐ வில் டூ. மேபி சம்டைம்ஸ் இன் லைஃப் சம் திங்ஸ் ஆர் இம்பார்ட்டன்ட். Probably your girlfriend or boyfriend may have said, வேலை இல்லைன்னா only after getting your job, steady 2 years ஆனப்புறம் தான் we will marry. Nobody says only if you become a CEO, I will marry. So it could be any reason, each one has. But you should have some reason. There's nothing wrong in having any reason. But question is, do you have anything at all, any purpose? Identify that. That is very important. Don't get shy. இது வந்து ரீசனா சொன்னா என்ன நினைப்பாங்களோ என்னவோ நினைச்சிட்டு போகட்டும். People who think about you all nonsense something, they're not going to come tomorrow and help you. There's only one person on earth who can actually help you, which is yourself. Your parents, friends, whatever, right? Your closest to friends, whatever. Nobody can actually can do. They may want to do. Your parents may want to help you. In the future, your husband or wife may want to help you, but they cannot. They cannot come to your manager and speak, and you have to. So this is one important thing. கேம்பஸ்ல காலேஜ்ல ஸ்கூல்ல நம்ம பேரண்ட்ஸ் ரொம்ப எது கேட்டாலும் டீச்சர்ஸ் கிட்ட வந்து பேரண்ட்ஸ் பேசுவாங்க, அந்த இது பண்ணுவாங்க. காலேஜ்ல கூட டு சம் எக்ஸ்டென்ட் பேரண்ட்ஸ் இன்வால்வ்மெண்ட் இருக்கும் இந்தியால எல்லாம். கார்ப்பரேட்ல எதுவுமே எதுவுமே இருக்காது. The biggest transition is you being yourself. That is when you really start being an adult and being your own individual. It's not when you get into college. So certain things we have to correct when we enter. So what exactly is your purpose of entering a job? இன்டர்ன்ஷிப் ஜாப் தான். ஏன்னா இன்டர்ன்ஷிப்ல கொஞ்சம் எக்ஸ்ட்ரா ஃப்ரீடம் இருக்கும். வேர் யூ கேன் எக்ஸ்பெரிமெண்ட், யூ கேன் லேர்ன். ஸோ பேசிக்கலி அட் very less risk and very less cost you're learning, you have got a chance to learn a lot. You can learn a lot in an internship. So make use of that opportunity. There are a few other things. Give me a minute. I'm looking at a few things. In fact, I will share my screen. Or no. Okay. I'll look at certain other things. For example, I have a few that I will share with you this information a little later. But main thing is this fire in you, right? That you had when you were in school, that you have now in college and everything. You should not let it die when you become either. Most of the time, காலேஜ்ல சேர்ந்த உடனே +2ல கஷ்டப்பட்டு படிச்சீங்களா எல்லாருமே? You all struggled and then only you came to college, right? I don't think anyone of you is in management quota, right? So all of you struggled. Your parents or whoever actually is paying for you and everything, all of you struggled and then you came to college. Most of the time, +2ல நல்ல மார்க் வாங்கி காலேஜ்ல நுழைஞ்ச அப்புறமா what do? We relax. Yes. Sometimes collegeலயும் we struggle, nice, we get a good job. And then what we do? We relax. So I will give you one either. When I joined this job in Coimbatore, I'm in Coimbatore at Bosch. When I joined this job, my manager or my manager's manager, my department head who interviewed me, I did not meet him after joining for 1 week. At the end of the first week, that Friday, I went and said hello to him. I told him, hey, so and so, hello, I just saying, I just want to meet you. Thank you for offering me this job because after the interview, I could not meet you. He said, okay, how are you doing? I said, I'm searching for a room to live. I'm in a guest house, company guest house. I'm trying to find a room to the, I'm settling down and off work also, I'm trying to learn and settle down. He told me only one thing. On your personal side, you can always settle down. Work side, never settle down. Never settle down. That's what he said. Because the moment you settle down, it means you stagnate. You all are engineering students, right? You all know basic physics. Cycle ஓட்டுவீங்களா எல்லாருமே? டூ வீலர்ல வெறும் சைக்கிள் ஓட்டுவீங்களா? All of you drive cycle? சரி, சைக்கிளோ டூ வீலரோ ஓடாம ஒரே இடத்துல நிக்குது, ஸ்டாண்ட் போடல. Can you balance it?
No, sir.
அதே ஓடுது. You can balance it. How is it? ஓடுறப்ப இட்ஸ் டேஞ்சரஸ் ஹைன்னு நினைக்கிறோம். But you can balance. How is it possible? Hmm?
Momentum, sir.
Exactly.
We,
Most of the time, the balance comes from momentum, doing something. When you're doing nothing, you fall. So, only when you are progressing, doing something, you have value, you have momentum, and you can progress. The moment you stop, don't think for going behind, you have to slow down. Even when you stop and go at the same speed, you can fall behind. Unless you're having that small percentage improvement every day, right? The moment your improvement is zero, you fall. Don't think when you have minus, then you fall. When you don't have a plus, when you have a zero, you fall. So he said, do not settle down. And that lesson, and good thing is, what I've always been doing is something different. Take, for example, Ipo, what exactly I'm doing now is something that will doing something extra, which does not give me any direct benefit. Still, I want to do this. I want to talk to you guys. I want to share whatever I learned, my knowledge and everything. So, number you keep doing something. So, you keep doing something a little more. So, it's a very, I here is a recommendation. Atomic Habits, there's a book. Google it, Amazon, if you can buy it. In college library, இருக்கலாம், or buy it. It's worth, read that book. They say that very simple. It's simple mathematics. Again, you're engineers, right? What is 0.99 power 365? It's still a lesser number, less than 1. What is 1.01? 0.99 is zero point zero 0.01 less than 1. 1.01 is zero point zero 0.01 above 1. But the huge difference they make when you do repeat compound, right? When you compound things. So the power of small habits, small things that you do, right? It is very important. So at work, at internship, whatever it is, don't ever be relaxed. Don't ever be relaxed. Always try to do something small, little. பெருசாவே பண்ண தேவையில்லை. சின்னதா, because most of the time transformation or improvements in life are small things. They're not big things. Very rarely, sometimes they happen, but very rarely big changes happen. Most of the time there are small changes. Small changes. Very rarely you see a caterpillar becoming a butterfly. When you see a butterfly, you will not believe it was the same caterpillar. Or when you see caterpillar, you will not believe it will be a butterfly. But day by day, you keep seeing, you will believe. The caterpillar becomes big, then it draws a cocoon around it. and then it comes out metamorphosis. But that is also a very disruptive change. But most of the time, it's like you all have seen small babies, right? Maybe your relatives, your uncles, aunts, they may have babies or small babies you'd have seen. Every day you are seeing the baby grow up, you will not know the difference. But someone who does not see the baby every day, திடீர்னு ஒரு வருஷம் கழிச்சு பார்த்தா, ஐயோ இவ்வளவு பெருசாயிட்டியா. But for us, when we see them every day, we don't see a difference, but they have become big. So this is called transformation. So at work, you have to have this transformation little by little by little. You yourself will not know because you are doing it yourself. Suddenly, you will find a change. So that patience, faith, and patience is something that is very important, which you will also have when you are a student. When you are in campus, college, like, you will also have. But your faith and patience are most of the time limited to your exam. And the semester exam முடிஞ்சோடனே அந்த subject வராது திரும்பவும். And if you clear the paper, you forget it. So your life is in semesters. இங்க வந்து your life is not in semesters. It will be day by day on one side, it will be years together. There are some changes that happen day by day, there are some changes that happen year by year. And you will not be able to easily differentiate which is which. So, one second. I'm just writing it down. So this is really very important. So if you think நான் இவ்வளோ daily கொஞ்சம் கொஞ்சமா பண்ணிட்டு இருக்கேன், I'm learning some new subject. For example, one of you said learning new skills, something also is one purpose why you want to go for a job, right? I'm learning little by little. எனக்கு புரியவே இல்லை. I have not learned anything. They say anything, any new skill, you need 10,000 hours. 10,000 hours, if you do, you become an expert of it. 10,000 hours, where does it start? With 1 second or 1 minute. When you don't have have the patience to spend 1 hour, how will you finish 10,000 hours? I don't know how many more, if you watch Tamil, Tani ஒரு படம் பார்த்தீங்க. Aravind Sami and Jayam Ravi and everything. He says one thing, that is from Swami Vivekananda. That statement, what he says is from Swami Vivekananda. You can Google it. They say, take a purpose, make it as a central purpose source of your point of your life. Work towards a purpose single mindedly. You will automatically win. You will automatically succeed. But the funny thing here is, when you are working on it, you will not see results immediately. Nothing is working, nothing is happening. Second day, third day, fourth day, nothing is happening. Suddenly, on the 15th day, everything happens all of a sudden. But is it all of a sudden? No. It is the 15 days of accumulated work and effort. For someone who looks from outside, they'll think it's magic. Only you know how difficult it is. But for that, on the first day, second day, up to the 14th day, you must have faith and patience. Faith, what is meant by faith? I am doing the right thing. I know what I need, what I want. I am doing some things. Today, I may not see any result. But since I know very well I am doing the right thing, I will succeed. Just because I don't see the result in front of my eyes does not mean it's not there. Because who are you having faith in? Yourself and your hard work. Patience, most important thing. You should not give up. After 1 day, nothing happens. 2 days, nothing happens. 3 days, nothing happens. And there are lots of stories of people working till the 14th day. And exactly when they're going to get the result, they give up. In corporate, there are no step marks. That's the biggest difference. Just some time back, I told you something you may say as opposite. Collegeல வந்து ஆன்சர் கிடைச்சா போதும், corporateல how to do that is there. But at the same time, corporate is brutal. Hard work, night எல்லாம் உட்காந்து you would have done, weekends எல்லாம் late night, nobody would be seeing you doing the hard work. Result வரலன்னா sorry, waste. You should be prepared for it, because people are not there to give you sympathy, they are there for results, which means doing something smart is more important than doing something the hard way. Smart work is better than hard work. Someone who slogs all the time and has nothing, no results to show, sorry. Someone who is smart, smart is திருடு, மத்தவங்க இதை திருடுறதுன்ட்டு இல்லை. Somebody does the work and you steal. You find only again by practice. You do it once, you do it second, you learn, you try to improve, you try to be more efficient, and then you achieve. This is smart work. Results matter more than brainless hard work. So these are some important things. I'm looking at the time. We should stop now. But these are some, there are more things, as I told you. We can, in our next sessions, we can talk more about it. But these are some really important things that you must remember, because campus and corporate, of course, are different. But there are lots of things that you already have gained from campus, from school and college today. You can take and improve, and you can use them also in your corporate tomorrow. And in internships, the main thing is it is a very great opportunity for you to experiment and learn in a risk-free environment compared to a corporate. You don't have much to lose. You have very less to lose. So you can gain. So this is basically what I would feel the same. Any questions or any comments you have? We have some 5 minutes.
I have this mix.
Great. Nice, nice. James Clear. Atomic Hobby Habits. Really nice. Any questions? I saw so many new people have joined the other. Good. So we should probably, we, we can have, yeah. I will put the video in I will share either on YouTube or somewhere else I will share, or maybe on Google Drive somewhere I will share the video.
We had a
It
session
was,
on Jan 15th, sir. அதோட recording இருக்கு.
sorry?
We had a session on Jan 15th, sir. 15th or
I will upload that also. I will upload that also. I will upload that
okay.
also. For now, I will stop the recording. Just a minute.